How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out the top submitted skins in the workshop. And if you're new to these videos, it does not mean these skins are for sale yet. And some of them may never be, or none of them at all. 8 are chosen every week on Thursday. Tuesdays, I showcase the potential skins that could make it in. So yeah, there we go. Starting out, we've got this burlap set for you, and it's going along with that reptilian burlap face mask, or not face mask, but wrap is the word I was looking for. And it's a reptilian burlap set. It's got an interesting kind of horn down there. Yeah, I'm not sure how that one is. It kind of looks like the pants are on backwards in a way, if that was maybe supposed to be a tail. But I don't think so. I think it's probably supposed to be something else. Next up, we've got a hoodie set for you. This is the Snow Blind hoodie, pants, and set. And yeah, we do have a couple of similar kind of snow stuff out there, so I don't know if there's enough room for a third set with whiteout and I believe, what was the other one? Snow Warrior, I think, maybe? But hey, always welcome to see. I know people do like their different camos. Next, we've got some cardboard clothing from you, and this is part of Little Ranger's cardboard set. And yeah, you've got some please handle with care and export and so forth. Yeah, definitely like that. Fragile, do not stack. Well, don't know, yeah, I guess no stacking. There you go. Next up, we've got a popular ask. It is the Copper set with the Copper Jacket by Duck. And yeah, as you can see here, you've got the whole police there on the back. It's got that bright neon color that you are familiar with, and duct tape sporting all around it. Next, we've got some silly boots for you. These are the Happy Boots by MM. I don't know if they're really part of another set or if there will be more of them, but hey, there you go. Some silly, happy little boots. Next, brought to us by the same person who brought us Cat on the head, we've got Pan on the head, and it's not just any pan, it has spaghetti hanging off of it too. I don't know if this one really has a chance, but it is definitely creative and silly and ridiculous, and just fills that part of the itch of rust. Next up, we've got a set that kind of strikes fear into my heart. I'm not a fan of nutcrackers or clowns, and this just kind of fills that horrible thing in between. Look at that. Bad. This thing just creeps me out, and that doesn't mean it's a bad skin at all. Of course, if it was, we wouldn't be showing a bad skin, but it definitely creeps me out personally. I think this thing's hilarious, and it's just something I can see people running into battle wearing for sure. Next up, we've got our deployables. Starting off, we've got a continuation with the low poly set with the low poly sleeping bag here for you. And yeah, it's everything we'd expect. It looks like the sleeping bag, but kind of all polygon-y like an old game. Then we've got a bright little sleeping bag. I almost said furnace. This is not a furnace. It is a sleeping bag. This is the banana sleeping bag by FaZe. And yeah, it just kind of has that rubbery banana kind of look to it. The frayed part here, the top of the leaves and the little pillow. Definitely a bright little summery kind of bag. Then over here we've got more of an artistic kind of sleeping bag for you. This is the Suprematism bag. That's the type of art style there, I believe. And there you go. So if you would like something a little more artsy in your Rust world, this might be for you. Then we've got some furnaces. Starting off here, we've got one that is a continuation in an older set. The Blood and Fire set by La Crempe. And as you can see, you've got that dragon there. Might be reminiscent of that rug. Then over here, we've got another furnace. This one is a little more on the funny, silly side, and it is, well, made of putty. This is the furnace handmade. So there you go. Smears and silly face and all. Then we've got two small boxes for you here. They're the two different variations of Pandora's box, which is the red one, and Crystallized box, which is the yellow one. So there you have on that. Then we can head on over to another small box. This one is quite creative. It actually looks like a miniature little busted up dumpster. And I think that's a really creative little, thing to do. Always neat to see things like that. Then we've got a couple of larger boxes for you. This one here is made to look like a DJ table. There's been a lot of attempts at this before in the past, especially when the music update came out. And, it's kind of hard to get that pop on it. And Hulk just kind of pretty much rejected most of them, I believe. So, hey, maybe this is another chance. We'll just have to see. And lastly, I did make that announcement. Of course, not everyone always gets the right announcement. So we do have a start to a set here with the Contraband Sulfur Storage. But, again, we'll probably have a break on boxes for quite some time from what Hulk has been telling me. Then we've got our doors. Starting off here, we've got a couple wooden ones for you. This first one has a very kind of ancient look to it, is the pagan wooden door. And as you can see down here at the bottom, we've got some moss growing and some very kind of like ember glowing eyes there. If we come around the back, there's also some more artwork and some more glowing eyes. I don't know if those are snakes or like a hippocampus, I'm not entirely sure. Then over here, we've got another wooden door. This one's got a shark. This is the fisherman door, and as you can see, there's a harpoon shark there, and a dead diver. And if we go ahead and pop around to the back, you can see a lobster door that matches what you would find out at the fishing village. So that's always a cool little addition when it looks like it used things from the game. Then over here, we've got another wooden door. This one says, beware of dogs, and has that generic kind of little chihuahua. You always see all those kind of signs to make it kind of a joke, and that's pretty funny. Also kind of fits Rust, you know, a lot of people have some bite and so forth with the bark, and yeah, there's that. So the back kind of just, you know, kind of generic door, but it has its own kind of design and style to it, I would say. Then over here we've got a double wooden door for you. This one is a continuation with the day and night set. So of course the night version will show the moon, day version has the nice sun. There's the back. We've got some sheet metal doors, starting out with this one in the pile of skulls. This is the hardcore metal door by Ideal. Definitely something to match with hardcore coming out. Then over here we've got a very unique door. It kind of shines differently depending how the light hits it. This is the laser room door by Keck. Definitely a very unique looking one. Then, if we go ahead and head on over here, we've got something with more of that kind of spray paint graffiti look to it. This is Mr. Bow sheet metal door. So there you go. That's Mr. Bow, I guess. Then heading over here, you'll see a door that looks pretty familiar. And this is the reinforced sheet metal door. We may see this one pop in since we did see the double one. Then we've got some camo for you as the version 2 of the Camo Net garage door. We did see the other one pop in, so hey, we may have a chance of it popping in as well. Last but not least, we got ourselves a kind of dragon, mystic, colorful neon garage door here. This is the Illusionary Dragon 3D art. Definitely a very cool looking design. So let's go ahead and kill the lights, and you'll see that our first glowing door is actually the single door here, with the kind of neon on the side of the reinforced sheet metal. Then we've got a whole neon kind of light background to it with this one. The laser door just has a simple little blue glow, which I believe is kind of covered mostly by the code log. Then if we head over to the night door, as you can see, it is now the moon instead of the sun. And we've got a couple of our boxes here. You can see the sulfur box. Then we've got the DJ box. Both of these pretty much glow the same. The only difference is the green or no green. And then we've got the furnaces. Alright, next off we've got our tools and weapons, and starting off we've got a scribbly little hammer here. This is the birch hammer, and as you can see it has all sorts of kind of rusty scribbles dug into it. Then over here we've got a kind of interesting rock for you. This one is the punk rock, and yeah, there you go. Some anarchy, zippers, and rock on. Then we've got a tool set for you here, and it comes in 2 versions. You can check out the other one down in the description for the workshop link. And this is the chocolate version. So there's the pickaxe. Or hatchet, I mean. And here is the pickaxe. Then we've got a hatchet for you, and this is the tourist set. Definitely has a kind of nice, kind of new military look, but it's a little bit worn. And the matching pick, of course. Next, we've got a sword for you, and this one is made to look like it's kind of a cut-off katana. Definitely a very creative use of it. I can see a lot of people liking this one if it popped into the shop. Then we've got a couple pythons for you, and this one here has a nice neon look to it. This is the Neon Marauder Python by Legacy. Go ahead and aim down the sights there. It does look like it might have a glowing blue sight, but it does not glow. The gun actually doesn't glow at all. Then we've got another Python for you. This one is pretty well sculpted. It's got some cool kind of purple tones to it, I would say. This is the Dark Energy Python. There's that reload. Not too much going on when you aim down the sights there, color-wise. Then we've got some SMGs for you. Starting off here, this is the Nightwatch Thompson by Trix. And yeah, that was definitely, I think, a new potential set that people like. It's definitely, if you like that kind of like spec op look, this kind of fills in that gap, I would say. Then we've got another Thompson for you. This one kind of has more kind of sleek blue look to it. This is the Sideline Thompson. There's the aiming down the sights, so you kind of got the aqua color versus the black tip. Then we've got something a little more on the colorful side when it comes to Tommies for you. This is the Retro Blast Thompson. Definitely a nice bright color, and we've seen a few pop in from this, so hey, it could be a potential set. Also, you can see there's kind of a multicolored tip to the side there. Next, we've got a continuation in the Neo Soul set. It's been a bit since we've seen any from it, and the next iteration is, of course, the Custom, and it is stockless. This is a set that looks like it might glow, but it does not. It's just a very kind of neon-y, ghosty color. Then we've got a couple of MP5s for you. Starting out with this one, has a very kind of explosive, kind of graffiti look to it. This is the Flex MP5. There you go. It says Flex on there. Aim down the sights, you got the white versus that very light aqua blue. Next, we've got another MP5 for you, and this one has kind of a more worn, torn look to it. This is the Pathfinder X MP5. Aiming down the sights here, you can see there's kind of like a faded green to it. Not too much going on, and it does say Happus Island on there. Then we've got some AKs for you. Starting off with this one right here. This is the AK-47 Maze by Oasis. And as you can see, it kind of has that wavy maze design going along through it, with some kind of psychedelic kind of flashy colors there. Aim down the sights, you've got kind of what to me looks like an alien. I don't know, alien squid maybe? Not sure. You guys can interpret that yourself. And there is that reload. Next, we've got another AK for you, and this one is all scaly. We got the bow, so hey, maybe we will see the AK. This is the Serpent AK-47. Aiming down the sights here, you've got kind of a red, a very dark red against the green and white scales. Next, we've got another AK for you, and this one is a mean-looking shark. This is the Shark Attack AK. Bloody and all. Aiming down the sights here, you've got an anchor and a black versus the silver sight. And when you reload it, you shove that top jaw back into the shark there. Next, we've got another AK for you, and this one literally just says hardcore on it. This is the hardcore hand-painted AK, and with the hardcore update, it just kind of makes sense. It's just kind of a bloody, beat-up version of the AK to go along with hardcore mode. Then we've got another AK, and this one has a creepy spider on it, so sorry for those who may not be spider fans. This is the Arachne AK-47 by Azeroth, who always has some very cool looking art. Aiming down the sights here, you've got a faded web and black versus yellow sight. Then we've got another AK for you, and it's another attempt at some pixel stuff. This is the 8-bit AK-47 by Zing, so we'll have to see if this one catches on along pixel and JPEG sets. Or is it too many? I don't know, sound off. And it kind of has like a woody texture to it, it looks like, but it's actually a metal node. Makes sense, like the gun's metal. You even have kind of like the little X spot on there. It's not quite the same as a glisten, but you get the idea. Then we've got a drippy kind of piano looking. The drip is kind of like it looks like a piano, but it's just a paint drip. I kind of like it. It's interesting. It's up to your interpretation. But this one is the Paint Spill AK-47. What does the paint spill show you guys? And we've got one last AK for you here. This one has some cool little artwork on it. It might need a little updating to like the front and so forth, as it's kind of one color mashes together up there. But the artwork and so forth was enough to where I wanted to make sure to show it off here. This is the Constellation AK, and yeah, it's a very famous kind of you know, symbolism there, but with the Rust Hazy guy. Definitely a fun little mix, for sure. Then we got some LRs for you. Starting off, this one here has kind of a more beat up look to it a bit. This is the Infected LR by Novarom. Aiming down the sights here, you've got some more pinkish kind of magenta color for the sight versus the rusty sight, and kind of a same color for a biohazard symbol there. Then we've got another LR for you, and this one is very bright artwork. And again, if you don't like bugs, might not be something for you. This is the Scolopendra LR, and yeah, that is a giant centipede, guys. The longer you stare, the more legs you see. Even down the sides here, you've got kind of like a toxicity web with the same kind of green on the side versus the metal there. Next, we've got another LR for you, and this one is very kind of bright and sci-fi-y. It has an even greener, brighter version as well, which you can check out down in the workshop link. But this is the Code Breaker LR. Don't know if this is a little too kind of bright-ish for Helk. We'll just have to see. But there you have it. Pretty one central color, but that's kind of what gives it kind of like its effect, you know? Next, we've got another LR for you. This is the Cyber Attack by Hewok. As you can see, it kind of has like a fade of color going on, kind of the rainbow there. Aiming down the sights here, you've got a faded kind of white versus the silver. Then we've got a creative LR for you. It is called the Hobby LR, and as you can see, it kind of looks like it's made out of a Lego-ish type bricks. Maybe it's more like Mega Blocks, I don't know, can't use trademark, you know. So there you go, one or another, always fun. And you've got a nice yellowy kind of color versus the gray. And there's that reload. Lastly, we've got one more LR for you, and this one kind of has a more clean-cut look. This is the Seeker LR by Spectre. And yeah, as you can see, this thing just kind of has that clean look. Nice kind of, I don't know, to me, red and white and black kind of gives like a medical vibe, but I know that's not what they're going for here. One way or another, there it is. Same kind of that big white empty spot right there, though. You could always put another little decal or something to fill that emptiness.